Hi, and a warm welcome to episode 9 of the eTravel Weekly Show from virtualmissfriday.com. I'm Michelle Dale, and this is a show dedicated to virtual assistants and digital nomads from around the globe. So in this week's show, we've got a little bit of a parenting theme going on. We're going to be discussing from the VMF blog how to prep your VA business for maternity leave. There's a new visa tutorial on how to create slide decks in minutes. We're going to be talking about parental zen, keep your cool as a parent. We're going to be talking about making life up as you go along and how to have more energy than your kids. So let's get started with the show. A warm welcome to the Virtual Miss Friday blog. This week, I'm 3 weeks off having a baby, so I thought what I'd do is do a little bit of a parenting episode for you. On the blog this week, I've written a post about how to prep your virtual assistant business for maternity leave, something that's really, really important, whether you already have kids or whether you're thinking of having kids or whether you're pregnant and you're just getting ready to start your VA business or prep an existing business for maternity leave. Now, it is a little bit misleading. We don't necessarily get maternity leave as business owners unless we give it to ourselves. But basically what I do is I prep my business to give myself a little bit of leeway when I have a baby. I've had 2 kids already, and I go through in the post about my experiences with having them and working. I never actually took any time off, and I found it to be okay. It wasn't that bad. It's a little bit difficult juggling a baby with business, but it can be done. I've done it, and I'm about to do it again. So I've got several tips for you, including things like blocking out your calendar, notifying clients, things to do before the baby comes and things to do after the baby comes. So if you are thinking about having a baby or you've also had a baby yourself while running your VA business, I'm sure it'd be great to hear your thoughts in the comments and things that you did to help along the way with preparing and also post-baby as well. So have a look at that, have a read, and as always, I look forward to your comments on the post. Next, one thing I forgot to mention last week, this was actually launched last week inside the vapassport.com members area, and it's a new visa tutorial called Create Professional Slide Decks in Minutes. For those of you who don't know, I make a visa tutorial every single month, and it's posted free inside my membership club. So this is one about creating slide decks in minutes, and it's about how to create really, really perfect ones. You don't need any specific special skills. It's all really simple, really easy, and really quick, and you can create stunning presentations for either yourself or your clients using this system. And basically you can then make screencast video tutorials from them. You can do all sorts of things. So get creative, take a look at that, and it will literally allow you to create stunning slide decks in minutes. And also, this is the same system that I use for the introductions on this eTravel Weekly show. So moving on to my top 3 eTravel Weekly discoveries. These are things that I found online throughout the week, which are sort of relating to various topics or things that I found which are really cool that I want to share with you, tips and ideas. And the first one is on Zen Habits. I'm sure you've heard of this site. It's very, very popular. Leo has written a post on parental zen and how to keep your cool as a parent. I thought this was really, really important and really pertinent. Especially in light of preparing yourself for maternity leave, because, we don't always keep our cool as parents. Basically, he talks in the post about how, he's able to control his temper, and yelling and punishing and things like that don't work, which I really believe in, I'm a strong advocate for. But what really hit me with this post, from a personal perspective, is something he said at the end, that he said he found that hugs tend to be much more effective teacher than anything else in the parental tool set, which I think is absolutely right. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, I have a 5-year-old daughter, And she is really headstrong. I don't know whether she takes after her mum or not, but she's really headstrong, and once she digs the heels in, that's it. It's done. And sometimes it's very difficult to communicate with her, and if she gets upset or angry or emotional, really I've tried before, to try and put my foot down with her, and try to do things like the naughty spot with her, and it often doesn't work. But if I go to her and I ask her to explain in a very gentle manner what's going on with her, and she has the opportunity to communicate with me, and then we can have a little hug at the end, and I can tell her everything is going to be okay and the reasons why what she was doing is not good, and really we end up communicating and explaining, she will take that on board a hell of a lot better really than anything else. So I really enjoyed this post. I think they had made a really lot of good points, and obviously if you're prepping your business for maternity leave or not, even if you just have kids, I think it's a really good way to behave around your children and to basically keep your cool, because the cooler you can be kept as a parent, the easier it is on the whole family together. So hope this helps. Check out that post, it's really cool. My next eTravel weekly discovery is a post on brain pickings called Why the Best Roadmap to an Interesting Life is the one you make up as you go along. Now, this isn't directly related to parenting, but in my opinion, it's certainly relating to adapting as a parent. One of the things that I mentioned in my blog post this week is having the ability to be flexible and adapt, and to really understand that if you run a business, having a baby, it's not like the be all and end all, but it will impact things. It will mean that you won't be able to have the same routine as before. It will mean that you won't be able to run your business in the same way as you've been doing before. But the best thing that you can do is try to stop to do so much planning, get your ducks in a row, prep yourself, prep your business, get everything you need for the baby. And then really you have to learn to go with the flow, because your baby will dictate and your kids will dictate how your life goes work-wise. And if you're able to adapt to that, that is something really special. Anyway, there was a quote inside this post as well, which I really enjoyed, because so many people think they have to figure out everything in their life, which is simply not the case. And the quote was this. He said, "Sometimes the only way to discover who you are or what life you should lead is to do less planning and more living. To burst the double bubble of comfort and convention and just do stuff, even if you don't know precisely where it's going to lead. And don't beat yourself up about anything. If you don't know what you're doing, you will learn, you will do trials, you will figure it out. Just don't worry." Which really leads me nicely onto my final eTravel weekly discovery of the week. So my final discovery, these people are amazing. We've got a kids theme, and how could you not have a kids theme without Greg and Rachel Denning? They have 6 children. They're digital nomads. So like me, they live abroad and they travel with their kids. And, I find it pretty challenging doing it with 2 kids and especially with a third on the way, but how they do it with 6. And Rachel's just had another baby as well in February, so she's a great person to go to if you're interested in learning what it's like to be a mom as a digital nomad and also have a business that you run on the internet. Now, they had a really great video on their blog this week about how to have more energy than your kids, which most of us think is absolutely impossible. My kids are just so full of energy, and I suppose being almost 9 months pregnant, I don't have any at the moment, so it's a little bit more challenging for me. But they made some really good points about it's not about, a lot of people think that it's about managing stress levels and managing time, and that if we had less stress, then we would, as an automatic sort of response, feel better. But actually, what the concept that they're putting forward is that if you manage your energy levels, then that is what matters more than, trying to manage your stress levels. Okay, so it's a very interesting theory or concept. It obviously works for them. basically they're saying you should increase your stress and improve your recovery. I found this theory very, very interesting. And they made a very, very good point that your energy levels impact not only your mood, but your kids' mood too, which I again have found that to be true. If I'm in a really stressed out mood for whatever reason, or I'm feeling tired, or I'm feeling a little bit weak, like we all do as parents, it will impact my kids. It will impact their behavior just generally. It will impact their behavior towards myself and my husband, and it generally affects the whole family. And it's really interesting because you don't necessarily correspond that to your energy levels. You don't think that that's necessarily related to your energy levels. You think it's their behavior. But from my experience, it definitely is related to my energy levels and how I'm feeling. So basically, their parenting tip is learn to manage your energy, and you'll have more than enough time, and you can keep up with the kids. So if you have a couple of kids, or you're thinking of having kids, or you're about to go on maternity leave, or whatever, that's another really, really great post to take a look at. So I hope this helps. I hope you have enjoyed this week's show. Next week is going to be the last eTravel Weekly show before I go on my own maternity leave to have my little girl, who's going to be arriving mid-July. And I look forward to seeing you again on next week's show. As always, I welcome your comments on the blog and on YouTube or via email. Thanks so much. You take care.
Thank you so much for listening to this show. For more eTravel Weekly episodes, you can sign up for a free digital backpack at www.e-travelweekly.com, where I post the video, audio, and newsletter, plus all the links featured inside this week's show. You can also subscribe via YouTube at michelleonyoutube.me or via iTunes at michelleonitunes.me.